This is Earthheart, and here is Michael.
This is Earthheart, news you can use, the pulse of the planet. Don't you wish we could go beyond these politics of these days? Wouldn't you like to be thinking about how we build humankind up rather than divide it and try to subjugate it? Don't you wish we were talking about more freedom and more justice, more compassion, and some great future that awaits us if we would just only embrace it? One of my favorite teachers is a guy named J Krishnamurti. And at the turn of the last century, he was selected by a theosophist named Annie Besant. And he was selected to become the world teacher of our age. She schooled him and his brother in England, and they put together a great organization called the Order of the Star. The Order of the Star in the East was founded in 1911 to proclaim the coming of this world teacher, Krishnamurti. And he was head of the order. But then on August 3rd, 1929, on the opening day, Krishnamurti threw a big wrench in everything when he dissolved the order before 3,000 horrified members. And the reason is because the core of Krishnamurti's teaching contained in the statement he made that day was truth is a pathless land. And man cannot come to it through any organization or through any creed or through any dogma, any priest or ritual. You can't come through it through any philosophical knowledge or psychological technique. He has to find it through the mirror of relationship, through the understanding of the contents of his own mind, through observation and not through intellectual analysis or introspective dissection. Because he says man has built in himself images as a fence, as a security of religious and political and personal ideas, and they manifest as symbols and beliefs and ideas. And the burden of these images dominates our thinking and our relationships. And he says that these images are the causes of our problems, for they divide us from ourselves, man from man. His perception of life, then, is shaped by the concepts that are already established in your mind. The content of our consciousness is our entire existence. The individuality is the name, the form, the superficial culture he acquires from tradition and environment. So therefore the uniqueness of man does not lie in the superficial, but in complete freedom from the content of his consciousness, which is common to all humanity. So he is not an individual. And freedom is not a reaction. Freedom is not choice. It is man's pretense that because he has choice, he is free. But freedom is pure observation without direction, without fear of punishment and reward. Freedom is without motive. Freedom is not at the end of evolution of man, but it lies in the first steps of our existence. In observation, one begins to discover the lack of freedom. For freedom is found in the choiceless awareness of our daily existence and activity. Thought is time, he says. Think about that. Thought is born of experience and knowledge which are inseparable from the time and from the past. Time is the psychological enemy of man. Our action is based on knowledge and therefore time, so man is always a slave to the past. Thought is ever limited, and so we live in constant conflict and struggle. And there is no psychological evolution. So when a man becomes aware of the movement of his own thoughts, he will see the division between the thinker and the thought, the observer and the observed, and the experiencer and the experience. He will discover that that division is an illusion. Then only is there pure observation, which is insight without any shadow of the past or of time. This timeless insight brings about a deep, radical mutation in the mind. Total negation is the essence of the positive. When there's negation of all those things that thought has brought about, psychologically, only then is there love, which is compassion and intelligence. Krishnamurti may or may not have been the world teacher, but I think we have a lot to learn from him. This is Earth Heart, news you can use, the pulse of the planet.
Earth Heart is produced by Michael Osborne in cooperation with James College.